USS Boxer peers into Mediterranean Sea tensions, U.S. strategy in response to the Syrian crisis and Middle East instability. In early December 2024, the United States deployed the aircraft carrier USS Boxer to the Mediterranean Sea, a strategic move that signals Washington's commitment to maintaining stability in the Middle East region. The aircraft carrier, equipped with a range of state-of-the-art facilities, will operate in international waters off the coasts of Syria, Lebanon, and other countries in the Middle East. The move has come under international scrutiny, given the heightened tensions in the region, both related to regional conflicts and the presence of global powers vying for geopolitical influence. The USS Boxer, a Wasp-class aircraft carrier, is known for its large capacity to carry warplanes and helicopters, as well as emergency teams that can be rapidly deployed ashore. The ship is equipped with highly advanced defense systems, and has a projection force that allows the U.S. military to conduct various operations in a highly dynamic and uncertain region like the Middle East. The presence of the USS Boxer in the Mediterranean Sea not only shows the strength of the U.S. military, but also signifies serious attention to the conditions developing in the region. The Mediterranean Sea itself is an important waterway connecting Europe, Asia, and Africa. For centuries, it has been a center of trade, culture, and political activity. The presence of a U.S. aircraft carrier here is not only to respond to potential military threats, but also to send a strong message to allies and adversaries in the Middle East that the United States will remain engaged in keeping the region safe. USS Boxer will conduct intensive monitoring of the developing situation in Syria, which continues to be buffeted by a civil war that has lasted more than a decade. The ship's presence also serves to strengthen the U.S. position in the military alliance with NATO countries around the Mediterranean Sea. In recent years, tensions between major powers, including Russia and Iran, have intensified in the region. Russia, as one of the main supporters of the Syrian government, has strengthened its presence in the eastern Mediterranean. Meanwhile, the U.S. and its allies continue to monitor Russian troop movements as well as other regional powers that could potentially destabilize the region. With the presence of the USS Boxer, the U.S. wants to ensure that they have a strong position in the face of these challenges. In addition, this aircraft carrier is also tasked with providing logistical and humanitarian support if needed. Given Syria's continued war-torn condition, with millions of refugees and an unresolved humanitarian crisis, the USS Boxer could serve as a starting point for humanitarian relief operations should the situation deteriorate. The ship has the ability to carry medical supplies, food, and other equipment needed by war victims. The presence of USS Boxer also shows that the U.S. cares not only about the military aspect, but also about the humanitarian aspect in the conflict-ridden region. Monitoring operations conducted by the USS Boxer will include various reconnaissance and surveillance missions, including monitoring the movement of ships and aircraft from countries that have interests in the region. Some fear that the protracted conflict in Syria could escalate, with more countries involved, so monitoring the potential for military escalation is critical. USS Boxer has the ability to respond quickly to any developments that require action from the U.S. military, be it in the form of troop deployments or direct intervention if needed. USS Boxer's presence in the Mediterranean Sea can also be seen as a response to the growing tensions between the U.S. and Iran.
Okay, so we've done that. We push the crew. He's going to stay there, but we'll push the crew forward.
Both countries have major interests in the Middle East, and tensions between the two have been increasing, particularly in relation to Iran's nuclear program and its involvement in the conflicts in Iraq and Syria. Iran, which supports several armed groups in the region, is one of the main concerns of the U.S. USS Boxer will help the U.S. monitor any military movements that could potentially worsen the situation. In recent years, U.S. aircraft carriers have become a symbol of global power that can be used to conduct foreign policy in a more flexible and responsive manner. The presence of the USS Boxer in the Mediterranean Sea can be seen as a very important form of power projection for the United States, especially in the face of dynamic and uncertain situations. The United States uses aircraft carriers like the USS Boxer to demonstrate their military readiness and assure allies in the region that they will always be present to maintain stability. However, while the USS Boxer's presence can be considered a preventive measure, it is undeniable that it also increases tensions in the region. Countries like Russia and Turkey, which have major interests in Syria and the region, will be closely monitoring the carrier's movements. Nonetheless, the U.S. remains committed to ensuring that its foreign policy prioritizes security and peace, and supports its allies in the region who face threats from various state and non-state actors.